Bula Vinaka, everybody.
We're live?
Yes.
We are live. Bula Vinaka. Oh, even my phone says that we're live. Nice. Thank you guys for joining. It's a beautiful Friday. Probably the last live before Christmas. So it's hot as balls. It's about as hot as she gets. And luckily there's a breeze right now. But this time of the year, man, in the village is just, it's a lot, man. It's hard to focus on work and stuff like that. But we're getting there. So I'll just give you guys a few. Can you grab that for me up there?
Oh,
My liquid energy. I need some liquid energy. It was a day that I was supposed to run into Lambasa, pay for something, and come straight back. And then it was a piece for the tractor that I needed modified, and it was broken. Needed it to be upgraded and modified a little bit, but it was being done by an Islamic man, and so obviously Friday prayer, and so I went like 12 o'clock, right? I'm aiming 12 o'clock to be there because I think they go on the prayer for 12:30, and then I get there and I'm like, ooh, I think we need to change this a little bit because it's just going to fail again. We need to edit. We have to edit. We have to remanufacture this little piece a little bit. And it's like, okay, well, I'll do it after prayer. And I'm like, no. So, yeah. What's up?
I can't find it.
Yeah, tell Leaky to keep looking. It's over there by the star fruit.
Huh?
Over there, by the burning barrel.
Why the, like,
Bula Sisa.
Bula, everybody. Bula Sisa. Oh, and I met so many people. So many people are in town right now.
Oh, yeah?
In Lambasa, like coming from overseas for Christmas and stuff like that. And so, but anyways, thank you guys for meeting up. I actually have a cool story about a guy I met. But today's live is sponsored by Pacific Technical Institute. So thank you for joining in and hanging out with us today, everybody who's going to be coming on the live. And yeah, the live is just a time where we get to hang out with each other. And you guys ask me questions, I answer them live, and we just talk like that. What's up, buddy?
the black
Yeah,
light?
go find it and don't come bother me.
But what-
No, you guys have to find it, buddy. Leaky knows. Hey, Leaky knows.
but
Well, tell Leaky to...
when we can't
Okay,
find
tell Leaky to come and talk to me then. Freaking... Yeah! All right!
Yeah, TGIF. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? TJF, I'm on the coffee. So, Pacific Technical Institute. Who are they and what do they do? Well, they just actually opened up a location in Lambasa. And I think they have a location as well on Waimanu Road in Suva. That's what we saw, eh?
Yeah.
On Waimanu Road.
Instagram.
So it's they're a vocational training institute. They offer programs in like accounting, IT, PC maintenance. I know they do. They have one here for like a short. It's a short course for office admin and stuff like that. And what's really cool, what I think is becoming more and more popular in Fiji is like extended long-term care, and like for old people, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Caregiving.
Yeah, caregiving. Yeah, and so it's relevant to me because my mom is a nurse and she's worked in long-term care facilities,
Right.
Caregiving her whole life, or my whole life.
Yeah.
And so all of the courses. So beyond just talking about these guys as a sponsor, when I think of myself as a business person, a lot of these courses are applicable to. They would be positive things that if I was to look at, because when I look at resumes, all of these things help. But if you have like some big long 4-year degree and you came out with your bachelor's in arts, I don't really care. Like honestly, like a 4-year degree in something random would mean just as much or less to me as like somebody who has office admin training, even if it was just like a short 8-week course. Like that is the weight of like, for when I see people who go and do these short courses that are specifically designed
For that.
for things that business owners need, industry needs. Because like universities are great, obviously, and there's nothing against, going and getting your long-term education, degree, master's, and doctorate and stuff like that. But I am also a child of Polytech institution. So I was a mechanic in my past life. And so I went through courses from a school very, very similar to this, a technical institute as well in Canada. And so I can relate very much with, I don't know, programs that you don't waste your life in for years and years, incurring like crazy student loans and very little like application for when you come out of the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, I love the trades. And I don't think here's the thing, okay, with AI and everything, technology on the rise, and obviously they offer some like technology courses, but AI is never going to be able to help an old lady go to the washroom or to feed her dinner. Like AI is never going to be able to spin a wrench and change your water pump on your Hilux. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And AI can do a lot of things, because that's I'm talking about AI because this is the way that tech is going, right? But there's no replacement in certain industries for a human. And so some of the courses that they're offering are the certificate in adult and social care. And that duration is 9 months, and the course fees are $1,900. All right. Another course, I'll just list through the courses here. Certificate in Information Technology, duration of that course is 1 year. Course fees, $3,500. Fundamentals of Childcare Services, short course, 5 weeks, and $475 are the course fees. Essentials of Caregiving, so 5-week program, $425. Certificate in Microsoft Office Essentials, so that's something that would be helpful for business owners and also people who are just interested in doing admin work. That course is 4 weeks, and the course fees are $480. And that includes your $20 enrollment fees. And the last one is their payroll management. I am looking for somebody to help me with all of this stuff, actually. So it's funny we're talking about it, because I need somebody who can manage all our FIRCA stuff, our FMPF stuff. The certificate in payroll management duration of that course is 5 weeks, and the course fees are $550.
Dude,
and so,
really?
yeah,
5 weeks? Just 500.
yeah, $550.
That is
So
really good.
when I think about a company, after all, they are organized a company, you think about who is your market, and their market are people who are looking for education. But I would speak to people who already have prior obligations, like moms, single dads, people who can't take 4 years out of their lives to go and do some degree level course, and they still have to stay around home, and they might have to balance a family and a night job and all this kind of stuff. A course like this would be perfect, because when I went to the technical institute I went to, I worked every night at a restaurant, and then I went to school during the day, and then after that I got a job, and then you had to put in a certain amount of hours, and after 1,200 hours, then you go back to school again and then repeat. So yeah, Pacific Technical Institute.
Man, that's really, it's
Yeah,
all those short courses, and then you can get a certificate out of it.
yeah, and you're gonna learn other things, when you do the certificate in
Yeah.
payroll management. You're not just gonna learn how to do plus and minus, right? You're gonna learn some other stuff as well. Oh, here, I have the list here. Payroll systems and software, compensation and benefits, payroll calculations, compliance and legal. Okay, so this sounds boring, but compliance and legal is a big deal, because I recently had somebody who wasn't doing what I thought they were doing, and it ended up being a lot of headache for me, because as a business owner, you need somebody who just knows the stuff, and you don't have to go and tell them, so that you can focus on the business and not in the business. Because every time I'm working in the business, like editing a video or being actually planting the cassava on the farm, that is not the best place where I should be at the moment. So having people who have these kinds of educations
Hey, Dad,
helps. Yeah, buddy?
the bag's stuck. We found it, but it's
Yeah, I don't want you to move it. I want you to take the soil out of it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's stuck. We can only see like a little bit.
What's that?
We can only see like this much.
We'll move the grass.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, I know it's hard.
It's under the sticks.
Yeah, move the sticks.
But we can't.
Huh? Okay, well then just do it tomorrow then. Go play. Get the rugby ball and go play.
Mom said we could watch a movie.
Yeah, I like with the caregiver stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed there's a lot of demand. Caregiving.
Yeah, do you think the demand is going up? I don't
Yeah.
see it going down.
Yeah, it is.
Because, like, for me, like, we're not moving towards a society, we're not moving more towards a place in society where, like, less people are going to be working 9-to-5 jobs. Life is getting more expensive. More people are going to be needing to be, like, dual income households, right? Which means that we're going to lose that part where, like, one person stays home and looks after the parents or the in-laws,
Yeah.
which means that the people who have these kinds of courses, whether it's adult or even childcare, because like in a society where both parents are earning an income because it costs a lot to live, people will need childcare. People will need long-term caregiving care for their parents, for their in-laws, whoever they're looking after. So like, I think the courses that are being offered are not. All these jobs are going to be in more demand. It's kind of like land in Fiji. Land in Fiji might be expensive to you. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But the sooner you can buy land, like I'm talking like free. In my mind, I'm talking about like nice freehold land on a beach. The sooner you can buy it, the better, because the world isn't getting any smaller. And so even though it might take a while for that thing to increase in value, people are not going to be looking less for unique places to go in the world and, places to holiday. That's just going to be more and more. So in the same way, like people who have expertise in childcare or expertise in caregiving, that's not going to get, your job opportunity is not getting less and less. It's getting more and more. So even like for me as a mechanic, like I always have a job. It's not hard for me to go get a job because I have experience in that field. So like you can go get a fundamentals of childcare services, spend 5 weeks doing it. You never even have to do it, but you have the certificate now. And so, okay, go back to being a dad, go back to being a mom, go back to working the job you already work, but at least you have that thing in your back pocket. And then when, on a rainy day, if you need, a job, you can always pull it out. But at least you didn't waste 4 years of your life just on it in case.
Like, I would say there's this course. What is it? The caregiving course.
Yeah,
How many
caregiving.
days? How many weeks?
5 weeks.
5 weeks for
$425.
425.
Yeah.
Boy,
Huh?
that.
We go. I can care for you.
Well, I've had some friends from here who went across to Australia to America for caregiving. Like they got job opportunities over there.
Yeah, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much out here, but it is more demand.
Oh,
more
yeah.
Demand in the States,
Yeah.
mostly in the States.
Yeah, and I guess if you're looking for a reason or an outlet to leave, like if you have a course like this,
Yeah.
you'd be way more likely.
Yeah, like if you have a goal, right? Like, okay, I want to go to overseas, or like,
Yeah, honestly, like,
Why?
okay, obviously I'm not a
That's
fan of
tricky.
people leaving the country,
Yeah.
but if you're going to leave and you're like a single woman or a single guy with not many ties to Fiji and no real reason to come back, there's a very likely chance that you won't get your visa approved. But if you're like, okay, instead
Have a
of
trade.
wasting $2,000 on visa applications and the trip over to the embassy to be interviewed, maybe add a $400 course, $425 course to your
Yeah.
resume
Yeah.
or your reason to leave, and
Reason
people will be
to
like, oh, they did recently complete a
Mm.
caregiving course,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And that would probably give you a better chance to
Mm.
be approved.
Be approved. Yeah. Exactly.
Because they, and with like Trump in there, and with the Canadian government going conservative, and a lot of Western countries swinging conservative now, immigration is going to get very, very tight. And opportunities for people to leave are going to be a lot more difficult than it was in the past like 5-10 years here. Because there's going to be a heavy pendulum swing in the opposite direction. So people who have some sort of education and some sort of like, oh, I'm going to go get a job in caregiving. It's like, okay, you have education? No, that's just my plan. It sounds a lot better when you're like, do you have education? Yeah, I have
Yeah, I
a
do.
certificate. I just finished a short course, right?
Right.
So, but don't leave. Don't leave Fiji. You don't want to go overseas.
That's Pacific Technical Institute. This is the first time I've ever heard of this institute.
Yeah, maybe you can put the link for their website in there.
Yeah, I will put it there.
And a bunch of these courses are also like, you don't have to be there in person. Like you, like can do it online too.
Yeah.
So like the office admin, like it's like face to face or online.
Oh.
Yeah. And where's another one here? Yeah, and then like the childcare services, face to face, afternoon, and online. So it's like all different modes of delivery too. I just know a lot of people that went to university on a whim. Like, well, what are you going to university for? Like, I don't know what I really want to do. I'll just go get my bachelor's in arts and then I'll go from there. It's like, dude, you're going to spend that much money, that much time of your life just on a, like, I don't really know. All right.
Yeah.
It is Friday and
There's a comment from Gillian. Hey, Gillian.
Gillian or Jillian?
Gillian.
G or J?
G.
Could be either.
Yeah.
I'm going to Jillian. You're going to Gillian?
Yeah.
I'm calling you Jillian. Is it a woman?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have always thought about how can we set up a system where carers are trained in Fiji but work in the US through a rotation program. There may need to be some diplomatic discussions between the governments, but Fijians are great carers and
Yes,
USA
yes.
has a great demand.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I.
Okay,
that's a
Jillian.
great point.
Yeah, it's Gillian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gillian, what is
Gillian.
this? Gilligan's Island over here? Gillian.
Gillian.
Should
Sorry,
it-
Gillian.
Yeah, that's him. Point the camera to him.
Oh yeah, he's a woman. I mean, she's a woman.
He's a woman. Okay. Jillian, Tui's gonna send you $50 as an apology. But yeah, that's one thing I have heard is that people love Fijians, both men and women, as caregivers overseas. Like the same thing goes with like Filipinos. My mom says like they're
Good at it.
very like genuine. Like that, it's not just like a 9-to-5 job for them. Like they actually really truly care for the people in the facility where my mom works and like around that healthcare region.
Right.
Like yeah. But people, like lots of families in, like especially in SoCal or just on the western seaboard of the United States, like there's a lot of people, Fijian people, caregiving there,
Right.
and they very like infamous for giving very genuine care.
Care.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you see that in like, I mean, I guess this would also be like if you, like with Pacific Technical Institute, if you get the childcare services, like that's also an in the tourism.
Right.
right? Because like lots of these hotels have like daycare,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, they do in the.
And so like if you're just like going for like a job, I mean you might have a better chance if you have a childcare service thing,
working
and then
out
you can work in.
resort.
At least it's an inn, even if your end goal isn't daycare. But like at least they have the flexibility as like an activities to be like, oh, this girl has like, or this guy has a course in
Yeah.
childcare services.
Yeah.
So I mean, even locally, in the tourism industry, there's opportunities as well.
Yeah. Definitely. Bulan re mai tau. Bula bina ka beta.
Você,
Bula sia tau.
tá aqui mai.
Bula tu kai koroi. Oh kai. Don't know. Stuck in the middle of the sea now.
I saw a story. It
Relaxing at
looked
home.
like he was going somewhere on a boat.
But I must have stopped over in Lebuka. Buy some.
The boat was full.
It was.
Ooh, fuel and groceries. I think he
Okay.
spent all of his money there.
Wakandua.
Big money guy.
I might have to send his fare back in January.
I was actually gonna tell him like, do you want me to hold some money for you,
Yeah.
so that you can come
I
back?
did last year, did I?
Huh?
Yeah.
You did that last year? You paid it?
Yeah. For him to come.
Yeah, 'cause he's not gonna have anything. Happens all the time.
Oi, Koroi.
He's there.
No. Oi.
Which is crazy because typically Fijians are really, really great at budgeting. You know what? Pacific Technical Institute, if you could include a budgeting course for $15,000, that'd be great.
Yeah. Just a course on doing budgeting, eh?
Yeah. Honestly, there must be some way to do that, eh? Like, there needs to be a mass educating of our population on budgeting.
Talking about budgeting.
But dude, this needs to start right from the top, because like, how in the heck can I not have multiple savings accounts inside of one bank account number? So in Canada, when I open a bank account, I can have up to like 50 accounts under one account. So like when I open an account, like me and Stephanie have, we have tithe, so 10% gets cut, sent there. Rent, utilities, savings, car maintenance. We have all these different accounts, and every time money comes in, a certain percentage just gets broken down into each account.
Right.
But like, Reserve Bank of Fiji needs to allow, we need to help our citizens to be able to open multiple accounts so that we can log in and then run courses. I'll run the courses and just show people how to use the apps when money comes in. This is how you move money into this account. Move this money into this account. These are the percentages that you should be aiming for, because like, people are like, oh, we spend all our songos. Oh, the village is the problem. The manua is what, like I always say, that's what, kills us off. And like all these solis and this and that. It's also that we have no means to move forward in this economy with the digital currency or moving digital. Like, I'm a fan of going digital, by the way. I hate checks and checkbooks and all that stuff. But like, how can you expect us to go digital when I can take cash and then I can have 7 jars and tithe and savings and vehicle maintenance and utilities and bills and rent, and I can just put my cash into each of these jars? Why can't I do that on your platform? Westpac, Bread, HFC, Baroda, ANZ, whoever you are. Why can't we do this on your platforms? From my understanding, it's because you need clearance and you need to have something set up from the RBF, Reserve Bank of Fiji level. I don't know if this is true, but maybe somebody can educate on this, because it's just very confusing to me why we can't do that. Like, I don't know who BSP belongs to. I would understand, and this is me, put on your tinfoil hat right now, okay, everybody? We're going to vibe for a minute here. When I say vibe, we're going to get a little bit conspiratorial. It would make sense to me if banks like Westpac okay, Australian, ANZ, okay, Bank of of New Zealand, Bread from France. It would make sense if those banks didn't have the best interests of Fijians in mind and didn't offer the best rates, the best options for accounts. But I would expect it from like banks like HFC, banks like BSP, to be able to look after the citizens and allow us to budget, allow us to move money around into different accounts so that we can control our money, because our money is not real money, it's just a number in a bank account. And so I wish that that would be something that could change, because I don't know how to budget in this country. All of my money comes in that I get paid from the Waka Media or whatever it is. It all dumps into one account. Like I pay people out of that account, I pay bills out of that account, I pay, myself out of that account. But like I have no way of knowing. It's just one big lump sum. And I have no way of being able to like, hey, okay, 20% of everything goes to this person. All right, I would just take that as soon as it comes in, move it over there. I would take 10% of what's left, I'd move it over to my tithe. I would take 20%, I would move it over to my savings. I'd take another 20%, I'd move it over to taxes. Like, but I can't do any of that.
Oh.
All I can do is just open up another bank account. And it's like, you know how much of a pain in the butt that is to open up another bank account? I do not understand why we can't do this. And I bet you it starts right from the top, and I bet you it starts from the Reserve Bank of Fiji. But it doesn't make any sense to me, and it's not helping anybody.
But how's Sole? Yeah, we know about Sole.
Yeah, Sole you can. And Sole, like, that's like, Semi Tukanda's like big, like, mind-blowing thing. Like, you have all your buckets, and you take your money and choo, 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 choo. You put it into, he has like, Semi Tukanda has the best sound effects when he does it. He's like, and it's like, wow. But like, that is not, like, when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, but of course. But like, I don't know what's going on with Sole. I don't know. It's not like, has it launched? Are people using it?
I don't know.
I'm like, dude, talk about the softest launch of the most exciting thing ever. Because to me, Sole would change everything, man. It would change everything. Like, even the fact that like it works like M-Pesa, like you can just send money around. Different people become mobile banks, so like people can like sign up to be like, I'll be a Sole ATM of some sort, and so like while you're walking around, you see it on a map. You say, oh, this person is like an approved like Sole bank, and so you can get physical cash from that person.
Wow.
Like, or like they, not that they have it on them, but like they are a person that like you can transfer your Sole money into their account, and they can give you physical cash.
Yay.
Yeah, which is dangerous because I wouldn't sign up for that. I'd be like, that guy has cash. I don't think that's actually how it works. Huh? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I wish that Sole, because I've been to a number of different Sole presentations, and it just sounds really, really good. I just don't know what's going on with it. And maybe I should just ask Sami Tukanda to come on. He's the guy who runs the show. And again, everything I've heard is like they're going, but I don't ever see them, like the stuff being used anywhere. So I think I had somebody from the office contact me about doing some promotion once, but I don't think anything ever happened or something like that. I can't remember. But
how about the fact that even though you can do that in USA, separate money into different bank accounts, most people are still in debt using money they don't have, buying things they cannot afford.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the culture the culture there is, I'm not saying it fixes your spending habits. I'm saying it can assist in your budgeting dysfunction. So Americans and Canadians and a lot of Western countries, they don't suffer from the inability or not having the tools to do budgeting with digital platforms, with digital currency, with money that isn't cash. They have those tools. They suffer from spending problems, from like the keeping up with the Joneses, from like wanting to outdo your neighbor, from like everybody watching TV gets sold everything, gets sold every time there's a commercial that comes on. There's like some new truck with 0% down, and then a brand new TV that LG just released that's got the new OLED display, and it's like, a paper, piece of paper thick, and it's like they're being sold all the time. There's a culture of keeping up with the Joneses, so you're trying to like have what your neighbor has and have it a little bit better. And the country runs off of debt. It's a fully leveraged economy. And so people rarely use real money to go and buy things. They use the bank's money to go and buy things. And so I don't know if Fiji has the potential to go down that road even yet, because we're not set up to be able to allow people to take on debt like that. Like, you can't even, get loans and credit cards and stuff like that here. Like, you can get a credit card if I want a credit card with like a $10,000 credit limit, I got to give the bank $10,000 as collateral. It's just like, well, that's not really a credit card. And if you had $10,000 and you need $10,000 to go buy your thing, then you just take your $10,000 and go buy the thing. Because like I went to BSP and I was inquiring about getting a Visa or a MasterCard or something. What would you want your limit to be? I'm like, I don't know, 10,000. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, we can do that. You just have to bring 10,000 collateral. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't really see the point of having this credit card then. Other than that, like, you could take $10,000 in, they would have it, and then you could take out, you could leverage that 10,000 over as many times as you wanted. So you could technically borrow like hundreds of thousands of dollars over time, and all they would have is $10,000 on you. But
I guess that'll answer her first question too. What are your thoughts on people?
Leave it in the back, Saba. Leave it in the back. Yeah, by the avocado tree. Put it under the avocado. This guy's trying to carry somebody one time. Lako. Boo! Lako. Lesu.
Her first question was, what are your thoughts on people going into debt? Over these holidays, you talked about consumers being in control in the free market in one of your earlier posts.
Yeah.
How can we get more people to understand money management, especially over these holidays?
Oh, okay. Yeah, holidays are always a bad time for overspending. But that's where basic budgeting kind of skills will come into place, because you know that on like January 1st, you're going to have to pay your rent. On such and such a day, you have to pay your water. On such and such a day, you got to pay your electricity. And knowing all these things ahead of time allows you to know like what you have the ability to spend. And so I can't really say anything other than we need the practical skills. Like, and it's not, I don't know, maybe people do know it. They're just ignorant of it. I don't know. It just seems, it's like very common sense to me. But maybe people do know it. They just don't live by it. What was the question? Free market, what?
How? What was the question? How can we get more people to understand money management over the holidays?
Uh, I think as humans, we are much more successful at being reactive than we are at being proactive as a species. Like I think we're notorious for or always having to react to things and then making changes based on like certain actions rather than like taking preventative measures before we get into said bad situation that we were warned about. So every year the holidays comes around and people overspend, they over leverage, and then January comes and they're broke and they can't fix a car, and they, if something comes up, they're screwed. They can't pay for it. And I think that just happens every year, and people will pay for it for the month of January, February, March, and then by that time it'll be back to normal. And so I don't really know what can be done. Like, I could make some posts and talk about it. I could run some in-person courses, but nobody wants to hear about that. People care more about enjoying the holidays than they care about, being set up well for like January, February, March. That's just the nature of us as people. We live in the moment.
Caesar says, I spent all my savings last holiday. This holiday, no money, so I am free.
Yeah.
Jillian says, I think planning ahead is something we can do better. Planning finances out for a whole year and being intentional about spending rather than being reactive.
Yeah.
Maybe food for thought for the new year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some like really basic practical things that could be done that aren't done. Like being allowed to open up multiple accounts under one account number. That's just very basic. Like why don't the question I always ask is why don't financial institutions educate people about money? Because they're the ones that handle all the money. They're the ones that give all the money. And it's because your inability to manage it well means they make more money. Does that make sense? So your inability to pay off your loan in time means they rake in more interest. Courts or somewhere, home and living, selling you a couch that you can't afford to pay in cash, but you pay over time, is in their interests. Your inability to save up enough cash to buy your new TV and then pay it over time is not because the business cares about you and they want you to have your TV. It's because they get more money in the end. And that's business. And that's what I was talking about in my post earlier today, is like, people say, oh, well, that's greedy. No, businesses' greed only goes as far as the point to which you will pay for the thing that they offer. You can't be more greedy than you have self-interest, is what I was saying. And so, dude, that chicken won't stop up there. Leaky, come here. Can you go chase that rooster? So you'll never have a business that charges too much if people keep paying for it. Like everybody wants to complain about, Fiji Airways prices to Sub-Sabu, Fiji Airways prices to Limbasa. Dude, the planes are full. We vote with our dollars. If you want Fiji Airways to lower the prices, then we don't take the plane anymore. But we take the plane because it's convenient. And you get there in 45 minutes instead of, 10, 12 hours. And so you can only your greed can only stretch as far as the point to which people stop paying, at which it's no longer greed now, it's actually self-interest. Because you care more about making money than you do about you care more about making $10 than you do care about making an extra $1. And so you'll drop your price if it means that people will start booking tickets again. And so the fault is not that of the businesses. The fault is that of the people who have the money. Like you can go buy, I saw a lady buying a big JBL boombox speaker today from Home and Living. Like the one Takale has.
Oh, that big one, yeah.
And those are like a couple thousand, eh? Couple $1,000?
Really?
I think so. They're not cheap. And so you can buy a speaker, that has similar sound output and everything like that for less than half the price. From a point, when you go to Limbasa, just point in direction. There's probably an electronic shop that sells like Chinese knockoff speakers, right? But there's some value in the JBL brand. People like the sound. It's got a good reputation. And so people can be like, oh, that's too expensive. That's greedy. That's, taking advantage of the consumer. It's like, well, then go buy the other cheaper brands. But people don't want to buy the other cheaper brands because they know what they're going to get when they get the JBL. They're going to get a full sound of the whole, from treble to bass. They're going to get, the fancy lights. They're going to get the microphone plug-in. They're going to get all the controls. They're going to get the weight that they like. So like, there's just so many things that people they just say, oh, it's too expensive. It's like, well, then stop buying it. Like with the chickens.
Yeah, they benefit of ignorance. Money management should be taught in schools and at home.
Yeah. Like it doesn't make any sense for me having a video company to go out and teach everybody how to exactly make the videos that we make. Because that would take a lot of time, that would take a lot of money, and then a lot of people would know how to do what I do, right? And so in the same way, banks, they're not going to go out and educate you on how to, use your money properly, I assume, because your misuse of that money is actually of a benefit to them. But I think that a bank could change that. I think that an institution could change that. Because like people, you can give knowledge and you can educate people, but people don't pay for information, they pay for application. And so you can be, this just waiting, if you're just waiting for one of the banks to take the route of being an educator and being an institution that actually cares about their customers and offers like financial courses and budgeting courses and all this kind of stuff, and then they'll be the ones that that take the whole market, that take a bunch of the market share away.
Taylor Swift likes JPL sound. She wrote a song, I Knew You Were Trouble.
Who's this?
No, believe
Oh
me.
my gosh. I was like, no. He's back. He's back.
Hey, what's for dinner
Treble
tonight?
himself is back.
What's for dinner? I don't know.
I don't know what's for dinner, actually.
Yeah.
Last night was ramen.
So our last night together.
Oh yeah, I guess so, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so sad.
Is it because 70% of the Fijian people don't exceed the annual income of 100k mark, which make bank institutions decline their ability to come with a single accounts process and diverse it to 7 accounts?
Okay, come again?
So, from Mono, he's asking, is it because 70% of the Fijian people don't exceed their annual income of 100k mark, which make bank institutions decline their ability to come with a single accounts process
Oh, I don't
and
know.
diverse it to 7 accounts?
In Canada, you can make $10,000 a year, $5,000 a year. You can make no money a year and open 50 savings accounts. It's not based on your annual income. That's why I don't understand why it's so difficult to open bank accounts in this country, because it's not like when you open a bank account, you're going to be able to start leveraging debts. It's not like you open a bank account and it comes with a credit line or like a pre-approved loan or like a pre-approved credit card of some sort. You know, like there's so much work to open an account, and there's really no benefit to you at all. The only benefit is to the bank. Hey, can I fill out 15 different forms so that I can give you my money, and then you can take my money and go lend it at crazy interest rates to other people and then make money on my money? Can I please give you this money? In other places in the world, you walk by a bank, I'm not even joking, there's people that will stand outside the bank and give you free pre-approved credit cards. All you have to do is go sign up for a bank account and you get a credit card. And so it's like, that is why America and Canada and these countries are in the situations they're in, is because of people, because of debt and things like that. I'm not saying I'm just saying, I don't understand why it's so difficult to open a bank account here when your bank account doesn't come with anything. And it's not like, why should you have to make a bunch of money to have multiple savings accounts? It doesn't cost the bank money to have multiple accounts. It's all a computer software thing. It's just open new account, name account. And like depending on how much you want your bank fees to be every month, depends on how many accounts you get. So it's like your $5 a month like account fee comes with the ability to have 3 savings accounts. If you want, if you want to have unlimited accounts, pay $25 a month. Then you can have unlimited savings accounts inside of there. And then you get, no ATM fees. And every time you transfer money to a person who's outside of the institution, it costs 25 cents instead of 50 cents. Like there's so many like creative ways that you can price like accounts and stuff like that. It's just like, it should not be an annual salary based thing. It doesn't need to be to like have a bank account. And if it is, then like the Reserve Bank of Fiji needs to fix that. I don't like our own institutions cripple us, man.
Jillian says, I think the banking process is out of date in Fiji.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think it's because of the banks. I think it's the Reserve Bank. Yeah. Like, it was just stunning to me when they're like, we want to go digital. And it's like, dude, I can't have more than one account. What do you mean go digital? Like, you guys have some serious things that you need to figure out first before you just say, like, we're going to go digital. Like, that. So confusing. So confusing.
You should get the cough checked out, John.
My cough? Yeah, I did go yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just on my phone to see if there's any responses, guys, to Story.
Bola
Holy
Sava-
smokes! This post got a lot of shares. Do you see that
Yours?
on Instagram?
Yeah. On Instagram more.
Why so many shares? That's crazy. Hardly any comments.
Reserve Bank of Fiji acting like the owner.
What's that?
Reserve Bank of Fiji acting like the owner.
The owner of what? Fiji?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And normally, it's like you'd have better luck opening an account at a sperm bank.
Trust me, I've had multiple accounts at different sperm banks. Just kidding. Just kidding. What's your total network? Oh, okay. I think this person was asking, what's your total net worth?
What did you thought he had?
Oh, I meant network. He said network.
Oh yeah.
He's like, what's your total network? And I don't know. I was in the moment in Mombasa doing some running around. I'm like, network. I'm like, Digicel? Starlink? I don't know. Like, my total net worth is negative thousands of dollars. If you really want to know. That's as much as I'll give you. I don't know if that's more or less than what people think. Police urge... Oh, I thought this says police urge violence. I'm like, what?
Vigilant.
Vigilance, yes.
So we can be beating people up.
Acting Police Commissioner, Juki Fong Chu. What? But there's a new police commissioner, hey?
Yeah.
The old one is coming back? Sorry, that's why I was like confused. Has called on people, especially business owners, to take proactive steps to enhance security during the festive seasons. To the people of Fiji, and especially business owners, once you are enjoying your business on a daily basis, think security at all times. Okay, Mr. Fong Chu urged business owners to adopt new security measures such as varying their routines. If you're doing bank runs daily on Monday, change it sometimes. Instead of carrying a bag of cash, disguise it in something like a newspaper. These are small adjustments that can prevent attempts to grab cash, he highlighted. We have other duties to perform, so it's crucial for businesses to come up with new ideas for managing security rather than waiting for police to patrol their areas. If you're going out and leaving your house empty, talk to your neighbors. Even when walking in town, be mindful of how you carry your bag. Oh. Okay, thank you, Commissioner, for the advice.
When you say you have your banks everywhere,
Oh yeah.
Caesar says, yeah, can't being the bank of Genghis Khan. Follow deposit everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know he killed so many people that it changed the carbon footprint of Earth?
What?
Yeah.
Carbon footprint?
Yeah. Just look that up. Genghis Khan changed the carbon footprint of Earth. I remember reading the article somewhere. Like, he put to death so many people that pollution in the world has been changed.
The greenest invader in history.
There you go, yeah, okay. So, we don't guys, we do not condone genocide, all right?
Dude.
What? He killed how many people?
He has been branded the greenest invader in history.
No, invader.
Invader, yeah. history. Well, he is an invader too. They said
Wow.
history as his murderous invasions actually helped scrub about 700 million tons of carbon
There you go.
from the atmosphere.
See? Like, talk
Oh,
about the worst person.
Oh,
Like, you
yeah.
know, some of the worst people to ever exist. Um. Oh yeah, so there was an earthquake in Vanuatu, eh?
Yep.
So there's a possible cyclone now coming.
Mm.
Oh yeah, nice. So now it says they're scrambling to rescue survivors of a 7.3 magnitude earthquake that
There's
struck near
two.
Port Vila
Two
on
earthquakes.
Tuesday. Jeez.
Mm.
You were just there.
Yeah, I was there. I was talking with while I was in Chuba. Oh, for the funeral. I was talking to them. I was talking to some of them
Yeah.
that we were there together. And yeah, it was pretty bad. Even the U.S. embassy collapsed.
Really?
Mm.
Whoa.
A bunch of buildings crashed. Luckily, the people that we were together, none of them got hurt, but just their office was wrecked.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
I read in the news Fiji's sending the RFMF to
Oh.
assist in the earthquake recovery efforts.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I think they're leaving today or tomorrow.
In the ship
Uh,
or flying?
yeah, that's a good question. I like
Maybe in the Pumau.
maybe in the ship because I don't know about the
I think
runway.
the HMS Pumau.
The runway
Small.
in the Vanuatu got damaged. I don't know. But yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, right, right. Oh, so the Drua are in Kandavu right now.
So yeah, they're doing some what do you call that? Call those things? Community project.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They're doing a camp there too, right?
Yeah. So a pre-season camp. I don't know. Maybe they're coming back at the end of this week.
Oh okay. Okay.
But it's just a cool thing, eh?
Yeah, it's
You can
good.
connect with the locals.
In Kandavu.
Yeah, this is a good
Publicity.
publicity.
That's the word.
I was trying to look for that word. I'm surprised about the embassy. Usually theirs are the best buildings in the country, this side of the Pacific. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so too. Like, whoa, if the U.S. embassy can collapse, then it's a
Yeah.
really strong earthquake. Man. I read somewhere. Let me read this. I read somewhere that the earthquake happened on the same day as the one in 2018. Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Dude. That's creepy.
But it's funny, you know, because when I was there, and when did I go? November, in Vanuatu. Like they were like.
You went twice, didn't you?
Yeah, I went twice. I went
Right?
September, and I went again November.
Okay.
And they were all talking like they had like a feeling because it's been like how many 3 years or like 4 years after another one,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, it's been a while now, so they feel like it's gonna come, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, right,
They were
right.
just talking about it,
Really?
just like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
'Cause
I
they-
feel
'cause
the
they
same way.
yeah, and like with us, I don't know. The last time with us was TC Anna, well TC Yasa and Anna, 2021. Yeah, 2021. 2022, 2023.
Yeah, Anna was 21.
Yeah, 3 years now. 3 years now since we had.
Well, almost 4, because it'll
yeah,
be 25.
oh, yeah. So
Yeah, they said there's like 10 to 60% chance that there's going to be a cyclone.
Mm.
Can we also just say 50% though? You know, because 10 to 60 is also 50, right?
Yeah. And it's good time to replant the cassava because it's still short.
Yeah, still short. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Because I usually see like during like December like this. Some people do, but I don't know if they still practice it now. They'll cut the cassava
stems.
short, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen people do that before the cyclone.
Yeah, before the cycle.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people do. One thing I don't know though is like, oh, I know that delays like that makes sure that the cassava doesn't get damaged. But like I think you have to harvest it within a couple months after that, because like I know like if cassava starts regrowing, like it doesn't taste, like it gets hard and stringy and stuff like that. Yeah, and it gets a bit. You'll see little new root shoots coming off of like the main cassava itself, and so like if you see cassava that's been burned and then it starts reshooting again, when you pull it, you'll see all these new little roots coming off of the main root, and every time there's like a new root, it's like a hard spot on the. So I think the cutting of the cassava stems allows you to at least food security, but I'm pretty sure that you'd have to harvest the cassava within a few months. I think somebody must know better. If you were wanting to like sell it or something like that.
But the weather suddenly makes sense. It was unbearably hot past few weeks.
Jeez.
After the earthquake, it was the first morning when it was cool.
Really?
I didn't know that. But that can
didn't know
happen
this.
because it's just a neighboring, right?
Yeah.
Neighboring islands.
Yeah.
Vanuatu,
Yeah.
Samoa, Tonga. And yeah, something along that line too. Some people are saying, been hearing it here and there, like, oh, Fiji should be ready as well. Like, it's been a while now. Nothing, no cyclones or whatever.
Yep. We have to think about it.
What are you looking forward to on this Christmas break?
Me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not like I leave tomorrow for our holidays. I'm not really excited or anything. I don't know. It's been like I'm sick of waiting, man. It's been like I don't know. It feels like it's been a long year of just waiting and like obviously waiting for exciting things, but yeah. And then I think I'm also like because Stephanie is gonna be leaving in the new year for a couple months again. And so, anyway, the whole reason that we did the Fiji thing was so that we could be together, right? And so, changes in the business back home have meant that she has to go back more often, and so it's just not really like the most ideal. And I can't afford to just go back and forth as I want. So, yeah, I'll probably make the trip up there, but then we'll just come back as a family. But yeah, I try not to get like super excited or super disappointed with too much. Try to stay pretty level-headed. Yeah.
Okay.
There's been a few things that have happened over the last week that have kind of taken the wind out of my sails a little bit, but it's all normal business stuff. Yeah. We delivered some video projects, and then it's like, yeah, we love it, and then like, oh, actually, can you just change this? And it's like, dude, that is like a full re-edit, and so stuff like that where you're like, okay, I caught that off my plate, and then it's like it's back on your plate in a very big way. So yeah.
And that's the hard That's the one of the hardest things. And I usually tell them, I don't know, back when I used to deal with some of like clients like that,
Yeah.
I just get so frustrated. So I try to tell them like, if you want me to change the music, it's gonna change the whole like rhythm and time frame and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah. Well, this particular client is like not change the
Change
music, but
from.
like just can you chop out the like from 28 seconds to 48 seconds and put that at the end of the video, and then take what's at the end and put it in the middle.
Middle.
And it's like, yeah, no, like that can totally be done.
Yeah.
But like the way the music like rises and falls, and like the song, like, because the way that we edit videos is actually
A flow. Eh?
yeah, it flows, and like we actually find the song first.
To find
A
the
lot of
rhythm.
times, like 50% of the time, you find the song,
First.
and then and you will search for. Sometimes you search 5 minutes. Sometimes you search for 5 hours to find the right song, and you're just listening to different song, a different song, a different song. And for this particular one, I'm like, the song is very important. Found the right song, and then edited the song so that like we have the instrumental. I'm gonna bore a bunch of people here, but like you have the instrumental stem, and then you have the one with the lyrics, and so you fade in and out so that like the parts where you have people talking, it's just instrumentals, and then when people stop talking, it comes into the chorus and like the epic part, and people start singing again. But like you don't notice that. You just think it's like one song and like perfectly executed. But like when you just have to like, oh, just change this and change that, it's like, okay, this is a very. It's not just like just change this and change that. Just chop, just split, click and drag. Split then and drag it to the middle. It's like shit.
Yeah, no.
It's yeah. And the thing about video work as opposed to like photography is that when you deliver a video project, there are an infinite number of realities happening at the same time. There are numerous amounts of like ways to set a video up. Like you can start the video with the end of the video. And that's why I loved going to X resort. And then you can start the video. Because you're like, oh, that's why he loved. Or that's why, and this is what I hated the most. You're like, oh, so that's a negative hook. Or you can start it off with like, me and my family just had the best time of our life. Oh, wow. You know, like there's just infinite ways to like start a video. And then there's infinite ways to like carry the video out. You know, like talking, just interview, you just look at my face like you're doing it in this live. And then at the end of it, I show you all the beautiful scenery. Or while I'm talking, as I'm saying things, and I say, oh yeah, we love the lagoon on the left side, you know, on the west side of the island. And then when I say that, I pop in like a scenery of that side of the island. There's, you know, there's so many different ways to have a video. And so when somebody's like, I think it's like a little bit too harsh at this point. I think we can take this. And it's like, yeah, you can, definitely. But like when I do that, then there's something else that can be done too. Like, and the changes are infinite. Like the way that you can move things around. So it's just, yeah, it's just difficult. Yeah.
Have you seen the series Mad Men?
No,
It's a
I
good
haven't.
series about marketing people in the 50s, 60s.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen clips of it, obviously, like, but I've never actually watched the full show.
Was
Yeah.
it Mad Men? Isn't it an old show?
Yep. I mean, not super old, but yeah. It ended in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And I was having an interesting conversation with you last night, actually. And, you know, we were, you know, one of the things we always wonder, and like one of the things I hear all over the place is like, oh, it feels like nothing's happening with this government. But I just like really quickly, one thing that I like realized last night was like, we are in a coalition government. And so, you know, you have multiple, they have one rope and people pulling the rope in different directions. And so I think it makes progress very difficult. I'm not making excuses for anybody or whatever. I'm just saying that's something that I always talk about. And so it's something I felt like I should say is that like, and I do say it all the time. I'm an idiot. That's one thing I say all the time. But also like I don't understand all these things, and so simple things like, oh yeah, coalition governments. You know, it's like having a business with two owners who see things in very different ways. It's like going to be very hard to, you know, progress.
Hmm.
So that was just something that I thought about.
Hmm.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to for Christmas?
Me? I don't know. I was looking forward to seeing my grandmother again.
Were you gonna go there?
Yeah, I was gonna go spend New Year's with her.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot, that happened so quickly, eh?
yeah. It was.
Holy,
It was a quick one.
I can't even believe it.
Hmm.
Man.
Yeah, but I guess just being with family. Yeah, being with family.
Your
I don't,
mosquito here.
I don't know if we are
Yeah.
gonna all go again to Suba for New Year's,
Oh, okay.
but yeah.
Maybe,
not
maybe not.
much. Even last year, I was, I was here. I was like having second thoughts about going for Christmas,
Oh, really?
and I was just gonna like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay here. Yeah,
Yeah.
and just spend Christmas alone here, chill.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not
That's when
bad.
I was relaxing in the room, and then Nai shows up in the cab. Because
Oh,
Nai
yeah.
was in Bobo.
Yeah, right.
And Nai shows up with everyone. It's like, oh, okay.
And she came here on what? Christmas Day?
Yeah, she came Christmas Day, Christmas morning. Mm.
Yeah, because you had the whole house to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, oh, okay, all right. That's my
Cue.
cue.
Yeah, sat there.
She's back. Oh.
Left that same day.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think Kasha and Vi are going to come stay
Mm.
with Nai.
Well, yeah. Nothing really special about this Christmas, I guess. I mean, my first Christmas with my grandma, that's for sure.
Mm.
But yeah, I feel you, man. Like things are just slow, and we're waiting,
Yep.
waiting on, yeah, big
I mean,
opportunities in
I
the
think-
future. And that's what I'm already like planning or like looking forward to next year, and us to. In
Yeah.
hopes of getting
What happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm.
And like, don't get me wrong, like the reason for the season and celebrating, you know, what it is that Christmas means to us as Christians, and you know, Jesus sending God sending his son to earth for the ultimate mission, and that is obviously, you know, it's always exciting. But yeah, I don't really get more excited about it over New Year's. I get more excited about it. It's always good news. It's always good news, and so I don't really do like the holiday excitement thing that well. I think I could probably do it better, but yeah,
I guess I'm just grateful that I made it through another year.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
The amount of deaths going on, accidents,
Oh, I know.
even this month alone. Whoa.
I talked to I was sitting in Hare Krishna today.
Yeah.
I stopped there for my lunch because I obviously had to wait way longer than I thought. And I sit down, and this guy comes in. You know, I just get my food. I'm just starting to eat, and this guy comes in and he asks if he can sit at my table, like at the other end of the table. And I'm like, yeah, sure. It's it's a long table, and I said, yeah, of course. And then there's a kind of a guy who's a bit like, mentally slow, eh? Walking around, and he was like, I didn't know this, but he was looking for something. Like he came back inside, like, and I was like, and then he said in Hindi, he's like, oh, what do you want? Like, you missing something? No, you want to eat something? He said, no. And then he walked out, and I'm like, I asked the guy at the end of the table, I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, no, he's mad. Like, he's not all there. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I was just trying to create small talk, eh? And then he gets his food, and I was already eating. I already prayed for my food. He gets his food, the fried rice, and he like gets it. And he's like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna pray." Eh? I'm like, "Yeah, okay, go." And I, Indian guys thought like he's, Hindu or something, right? And then he just sounds like, "Heavenly Father," and he just, boy, boom, he just full of like, and I was like, okay, and so I like bowed my head because I like wanted to be respectful, right?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, "Thank you so much for this food. Thank you so much for this day. You always look after my family. You always provide for us. We're so like lucky to live in this country. Thank you for how you wake us up in the morning." It's just like all this stuff, and I'm like sitting there like, "Whoa, this guy's so like outspoken, like about his faith, like very very public about it."
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's been a long time since I've had an encounter with like somebody that I didn't know who was just very open with their faith. He's like, "In Jesus' name we pray, amen." And I'm like, "Amen." I'm like, "Oh, bro, so you're a Christian?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a Christian." He's like, I go to the New Life Church in Siberia.
Oh,
Yeah, Pastor Pita.
Pastor Peter.
Oh. That's the guy who went to YWAM with my dad.
Oh.
Now I know. And then we just started talking. We talked for like an hour, or something like that. And I hear his story, and then he was talking about how he's throwing his one of his neighbors like has no family and stuff like this, and so they tried to like group together as like neighbors and like do a barbecue with this guy.
Yeah.
And so he was just going to get some. He's like, "We already got the cassava. Now we just have to get like some chops and stuff." So he said, "I'm just trying to go see where I can meet some people and ask if they can like help us with the chops." And so I just gave him some money. And he just starts crying. And he was just like sitting there, and he's like, "Thank you, Jesus, thank you." He's like, "Bro, I'm gonna pray again." He's like, "Heavenly Father," he's like, "just bless us." And then, boy, he's just going full out. And I'm like, okay, this is like, it's been a long time since I had like an over-the-top experience like that, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "I recognize you." He's like, "Are you on TV or something?" And I'm like, no. It's sometimes on like social media and stuff. He's like, "I knew it." He said, "You live in Sanganga?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Now I know you." It's like all of this time, and I was like wondering, like, how did I recognize you? How did I recognize you? And then I was telling him, I was like, I came out of my truck, I was gonna stop, and then I said, "No, I'm gonna go to Hussein." And I went to Hussein, and then I was gonna come here. I said, "No, I'll go get some batteries for the car key." Then RBs, and then I came back. And he's like, "See," he's like, "You kept thinking about coming, but like God's timing was like, you're not like supposed to come. You went to Hussein, you didn't come again." He's like, "Then you came, then I came." He's like, "We met here." He works at FEC in the mill.
Oh.
He's like one of like the guys who's in charge of the maintenance and stuff like that. Chris.
What's his second name?
I don't know. His first name is Chris.
Chris.
Chris, yeah. Yeah. He's like, anytime you need any welding or anything, he's like, you just call me. You don't pay me. You just come and pick me up, and I'll come and help you. Like anything. Like, I'm like, "No, dude." I'm like. Then I was like, "So the mill this year," I said, like, "Man, there seemed like there was hardly any breakdowns." So was it no breakdowns? I said, "This year, no breakdowns at all. Smooth." I'm like, "Wow." I'm like, "How did you, like that never happens?" I said, "He's like, we lot to there." He said the blood of Jesus. He said, I said, we went and we bought 2 bottles of red wine, and we just prayed there. And we just put the bottles on the machine. The blood of Jesus. I'm like, "What the heck?" He's like, "When we singing there, guitar, lotu, pray, wine." I'm like, "What the heck?" Like, who is this guy? You have to ask your uncle if that's true.
Yeah. I bet this story is going around there. We're gonna ask him. Chris, eh?
Yeah, Chris.
Okay. Good.
I mean, he seems like a pretty genuine guy. It just seems like a guy who's just on fire for Jesus. Who knows? I could have got. Might have been a bunch of bullshit too. But I have a feeling that it was not. And I usually trust my instinct on that. So I have a feeling that it was genuine. But it was just a cool. It was a cool moment, just to sit down, and then he's like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna pray." Like he was like asking me permission. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sure, go ahead." And he starts praying. I'm like,
That's
"Whoa,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really cool."
Yeah.
So maybe one day we'll have Chris come on the podcast.
Podcast, eh?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Interview with a maintenance man.
Maintenance, man.
That'd be sick.
That stuff in there is making me hungry right now.
The smell.
Mm.
Okay, shall we shut it down?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for joining. Very Merry Christmas. Thank you to Pacific Technical
Merry
Institute
Christmas, everybody.
for sponsoring this live. And if you guys want, just go and check out their website, all right? Pacific Technical Institute. .com, pacifictechnicalinstitute.com, and I think you also put a link in the comments as well. And so the courses in adult and social care, information technology, IT, childcare services, essentials of caregiving, Microsoft Essentials, and the certificate in payroll management. So the courses are like anywhere from like 5 weeks, like the payroll management one, up to like 1 year, the IT one. So there's all sorts of different courses. So thank you to Pacific Technical Institute for sponsoring this live. Guys, have a Merry Christmas and
New Year.
yeah, New Year. And we'll see you guys in the New Year. All right? Okay. Love you guys.
Okay, Mode.
Peace.
Mode.
Mother.